Good morning. My name is Sudarshan from ECD section roll number K9. Topic shaded pole motor. Important characteristics of shaded pole motors. Some of the important characteristics of shaded pole induction motors are given below. The salient features of motor are extremely simple construction and absence of centrifugal switch. Since starting torque, efficiency and power factor are very low, these motors are only suitable for low power applications. Small fans be toys and three headers and desk fans. These are examples. The effect of the shading coil is to cause the fluid flux to shift across the pole face from the unshaded to the shaded portion. The shifting flux is like a rotating weak field moving in the direction from unshaded portion to the shaded portion of the pole. The rotor is of the squirrel cage type and is under the influence of this moving field. Consequently, a small static torque is developed. As soon as the torque starts to revolve the rotor, additional torque is produced by single phase induction motor action. The motor accelerates to the speed slightly below the synchronous speed and runs as the single phase induction motor. Air gap length between the stator and rotor is of the order 0.25 to 0.5 mm. Too short air gap may result in the starting torque varies due to rotor slotting. Shaded pole induction work motor has no commutator brushes, collector rings, con- contactors, capacitors, or moving switches parts, so it is relatively cheaper, simpler, and extremely rugged in construction and reliable. Absence of centrifugal switch eliminates the possibility of motor failure due to the faulty centrifugal switch mechanism. Working of shaded pole induction motor. The operation of the motor can be understood by referring to the pictures which shows one pole of the motor which is standing coil. Considering a circle of alternating current applied to a stator window will be explain the work of shaded pole motor. Selecting a two-pole stator gives a synchronous speed of 3000 rpm while a four-pole stator speed will be 1500 rpm to 50 Hz supply. Rotor. The rotor of shaded pole induction motor is squirrel cage type rotor. The rotor bars are provided with 60-degree screw. This is obtained an optimum starting torque and for limiting the torque dip during run-up. Each of the poles has own executing coil, a part of wrapped by the coil. Coil forms as a closed loop of the each pole. This loop is known as shading loop. Construction of shaded pole induction motor. A shaded pole motors may be two pole or four pole. Here we are considering a two pole shaded pole motor. The stator has silent poles, usually 2 to 4 poles are used. Shaded pole motor is a split phase type single phase induction motor. The shaded pole motor is very popular for rating below 0.05 HP because it is extremely simple construction. It has silent poles on the stator excited by single phase supply and a squirrel cage rotor. Portion of each pole is surrounded by a short circuited turn of copper strip called shading coil.